Hi everyone, we are going to talk about units of linear measurement. Objective: review U.S. customary and metric units of length. Here I have a chart, and this chart is for the metric system. It shows different units of measurement. Millimeter, over here, is one of the smaller units of measurement. It's abbreviated mm. Millimeters are used to measure very small things, shorter than the thickness of most coins. It's a very, very small unit of measurement. Moving on to centimeter. This is abbreviated cm, and it's used to measure small items like the thickness of a crayon or the length of a pattern block. Moving up in the measurement world here, I now come to meter, which is abbreviated m. A lot of you have seen a meter stick before, and this is used to measure the height of a kitchen counter or the width of a door. And if we get bigger yet, we land at kilometer or kilometer. This is used to measure large distances, such as from one city to another city. Down below are some measurements here. If we look at this first box, our teeny tiny little measurement, if we had 10 of these little millimeters, it would be equal to 1 centimeter. If I had 100 of these centimeters, that's how much it would take to equal 1 meter. And if I had 1,000 of these meters, I would get 1 kilometer or kilometer. We're going to sort some objects that we've seen before, and we're going to decide the best place to put them. Thinking about these carrots, what would I use to measure carrots? Would I use millimeter, centimeter, meter, or kilometer? Carrots would best be measured with centimeters. They're not our tiniest unit of measurement, but they're the next smallest one. Meter stick, that would be really big. Carrots are much smaller than the height of a kitchen counter, for example. Millimeters, if we think back to the thickness of a coin, super thin. Centimeters here would be the best place for the carrots. If we look at an ant, think about a real ant, kiddos, and how tiny they are. Sometimes when you see them, they're so small you almost don't notice them. I would probably put the ant in the millimeter section, although there are some bigger ants where maybe we could use centimeters. For now, we're going to leave them in the millimeters. Now we're going to go to our mountain range. Mountains, very, very tall. If we start at the ground down here and look how tall that mountain is, definitely this would be larger than a countertop. So we're going to put this over here in kilometers. And finally, we look at our horse. This would make most sense to measure with meters. Now we're going to talk about something called conversions. If we have 1 centimeter and we know that that equals 10 of those little millimeters, how many millimeters would there be in 2 centimeters? So I'm just going to take some notes down here. 1 centimeter was equal to 10 of these millimeters. So I'm going to pretend this is my centimeter up here. If I add another centimeter, because it says I have 2 of them, here's that centimeter, that would be equal to another 10 millimeters. There's 10 millimeters in every one of these centimeters. Now I'm just going to add them together. 10 plus 10 would equal 20. So there would be 20 millimeters in 2 centimeters. Let's look at another example. We know that 1 meter equals 100 centimeters. So the question is, how many centimeters would there be in 2 meters instead of 1 meter? Again, it's a good idea to take some notes. So I'm going to say this is my meter here, and it equals 100 centimeters. I'm going to reread my question again. How many centimeters would there be in, 2 meters? So I need to add another meter. And I know for every one of these meters, there's 100 centimeters. So I'm going to write that underneath. And then I'm going to add these parts together. So 100 centimeters and another 100 centimeters means that I would have 200 centimeters in 2 of those meters. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the U.S. customary system of measurement. In the U.S., we measure in inches, abbreviated IN, in feet, abbreviated FT. We measure in yards, abbreviated YD, and we measure in miles, abbreviated MI. Inch is our smaller unit of measurement, and it's used to measure small items like the length of a paperclip or the width of a quarter. Foot is used to measure small items like the size of a ruler or the length of your math journal. Yard is used to measure the width of a door or one big step for an adult. And mile is used to measure large distances, such as from one city to another. Underneath, I have some measurements for these. It would take 12 inches to get up to the next measurement of 1 foot. It would take 3 feet to get to the next unit of measurement, which is a yard. And it would take 1,760 of these yards to get up to the biggest measurement here, which is a mile. Let's go ahead and sort some pictures like we did for the metric system. Our choices are inch, foot, yard, and mile. If I wanted to measure the height of this cat, which would be the best unit to measure? Inches, I probably could do that, but it might be taller than a ruler, and so I might need a tape measure or something larger. I think for the cat, it would make most sense to measure in feet. This cat is probably over the size of a ruler or over a foot. Probably not too much over that though, depending on the size of our cat. I don't think the cat would be the height of a kitchen counter, which would be our yard section here, or the size of a giant step. We're going to now look at the acorn. Acorns are pretty tiny. We can usually measure these in inches. Okay, let's take a look at this car. This car is traveling on a road, and here we usually measure distances traveled on streets in miles. That then leaves our door. Yard would be perfect for this door. Remember, there's about 3 feet or 3 rulers long in a yard, and that would be about the size of this door. Now we're going to try doing some conversions using the U.S. system of measurement. I know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So my next question is, how many inches would there be in 2 feet? So if I took notes like I did last time, here's going to be my foot. I know there's 12 inches in one of those. So if I have 2 feet, that means I need to add another 12. 12 inches plus 12 inches means I would have 24 inches in those 2 feet. If I look at the next one, how many inches would there be in 3 feet? I can use these notes. I had 1 foot was 12 inches, 2 feet, another 12 inches, 3 feet, I'm going to add another 12 inches and add these together. That would give me 36 total inches for those 3 feet. Now we're going to think about yards. I told you earlier that 3 feet equals 1 yard. So now I want to know how many feet would be in 2 yards. Okay, I'm going to take some notes here. I'm going to pretend this is my yard, and there's 3 feet in that 1 yard. So if I add another one for 2 yards, this is also going to have 3 feet. And then I'm going to add 3 feet in 1 yard plus 3 feet in 2 yards means altogether I'm going to have 6 feet. So then how many feet would there be in 3 yards? Yep, we're just going to add on another 3 feet. And that would give us a total of 9. 9 feet would be in these 3 yards. Yard, yard, yard would be 9 feet. Now, here's a question that says how many inches would be in 1 yard? Well, this is a 2-step problem. First, we have to figure out how many feet are in a yard. So I'm going to think about that. That's right, there's 3 feet in 1 yard. Okay, but I want my unit in inches. So back over here, 3 feet. Remember how many inches were in 1 foot? Right up here. 12 inches are in 1 foot. So if I have 12 inches in 1 foot, 12 inches in another foot, and 12 inches for the third foot right here, I'll know how many inches are all together in this yard. 12 plus 12 plus 12 means I have 36 inches in this 1 yard. So I'm going to write that right here. The answer would be 36 inches. There is a section in your student reference book about units of length, so if you want to know more, you can either go to Everyday Math's website online and enter in your code with your information, or you could look in the reference book back at school. There's a section for both metric and U.S. system of measurement. Here is a tree map. I would like you to draw one tree map for the metric system, and you're going to draw, I'll put a line here in between them. You're going to draw a second tree map for the U.S. system of measurement. And what I would like you to do, there is no quiz today, you just need to complete your tree map. I want you to find something around your house that would be about 1 millimeter long. And you're going to write that here. You're going to find something that would be about 1 centimeter long and write that here. And I want you to look around your house for something that would be about 1 meter long and write that measurement here. Then I want you to think about what we talked about with the U.S. system of measurement. What is something that would be about 1 inch long, something that would be about 1 foot long, and something that would be about 1 yard long. And you're going to write that here. Bring your notebook to class tomorrow so that we can share all the examples that we found. Thank you and have a good evening.